Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Game 64 of 71 here in this second season of the USPBL. I'm Rich Borland. On this 26th of August, we have the Westside Woolly Mammoths and the Utica Unicorns battling for the 17th time this season. Even though the Mammoths have only 19 wins on this season, they sit in fourth place. They have won 12 of the games between these two thus far. They will have a tough task as Donnie Murray toes the rubber for the Unicorns. This season, Donnie Murray supports a line of 6-3 record, a 2.82 ERA in 18 starts on the season. He's got 89.1 innings pitched and 94 strikeouts, 28 walks, and 69 hits on the season. As for himself versus the Woolly Mammoths this year, he is 2-2 against the Westside Woolly Mammoths with 40.2 innings pitched. He's given up 8 earned runs, 25 hits, 18 walks, and 42 strikeouts in 9 starts against them. For the other side, for the Mammoths, Travis McQueen makes his 6th start of the season for the Westside Woolly Mammoths. In his time in the USPBL, Travis McQueen supports a 2-2 record with a 4.43 ERA. In the 16 games and 5 starts, he has 1 save in 42.2 innings pitched. He also has 34 strikeouts to just 13 walks while giving up 48 hits. As he has done against the Utica Unicorns this year, he is 1-0 versus them. That was back on July 29th, where he had 6 innings pitched in a 5-3 victory. He had just 1 walk with 7 strikeouts in the 22 batters that he has faced. But overall, against the Unicorns, he's got 10.2 innings pitched, 1 earned run, 4 hits, 4 walks, 13 Ks in 4 total appearances alongside that 1 start. Things are starting to get down to the wire here in this final week of the regular season as the 3rd and 4th place teams are in dire need of a victory here tonight, as the Mammoths are just 2.5 games behind the Utica Unicorns. If you are unfamiliar with the playoff system, how it is this year, they start September 7th. 4th place team plays the 3rd place team. The following day, the winner of that game goes on to play the 2nd place team. The winner of that game, then the day following, will end up playing against the 1st place team. So obviously becoming the 1st place team in this regular season has a lot on the line. And it looks like as the managers are meeting at home plate, we're just about ready to get the national anthem underway. So quickly, let's give you the lineups. For the Woolly Mammoths, the away team, leading off playing second, number 11, Jalen Lawson. At 3rd base, batting second, number 9, Kent Blackstone. Batting 3rd, playing center field, number 18, Thomas Fusel. Batting cleanup as the designated hitter, number 21, Alex Abbott. Batting 5th, playing left field, number 22, Ethan Whisker. Batting 6th, playing right field, number 25, Sean Wood. Batting 7th, playing shortstop, number 2, Jeff Smith. Batting 8th, behind the dish today for the Woolly Mammoths, the former Unicorn from last season, that's Nick Kraus. And rounding out the Woolly Mammoth lineup, Riley Palmer is playing at first base. Quickly, the Unicorns, as we're about ready for the United States national anthem. Brett Belkin at shortstop, Chris Cruz in right, Tanner Levine at first, Willie Martin as the designated hitter batting cleanup. Batting 5th, playing center field, number 8, Tony Rosselli. Batting 6th, behind the dish for the Unicorns, number 5, Greg Jones. Batting 7th, at second base, number 9, Dylan Sprague. And batting 8th for the Unicorns, playing 3rd base, number 10, Bobby Webb. Rounding out the Utica Unicorn lineup, the number 9 hitter in left field today, number 7, Justin E. Landerson. On the mound for the Utica Unicorns, like I mentioned, Donnie Murray. And as soon as the national anthem is all set, we'll get ready for first pitch here in Game 64 at the USPBL second season. Take it away. Here we go.
From the mountain Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remove your hats. Veterans and active military may keep your caps on while rendering the hand salute as we honor America and our military with the singing of our national anthem, performed this evening by Grace Nochi.
So proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Let's give a big hand to Grace Nochi. Beautiful job.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is Grace Nochi, the, I'm assuming, relative of Paul Nochi, the manager of the Eastside Diamond Hoppers. Paul Nochi, of course, with MLB experience, but we got the Westside Woolly Mammoths and Utica Unicorns going at it here tonight in Game 64 of 71. Just a few games left, 7 to be exact, of this 2017 regular season. Donnie Murray getting loose on the mound for the Utica Unicorns as we're just ready to get things underway here. Donnie Murray making his 19th start of the 2017 season. In this season, he supports a 2.82 ERA with a record of 6-3. In the 18 total starts for Donnie Murray, he's got 89.1 innings pitched, 94 strikeouts to just 28 walks, and 69 hits to his credit. Of course, the biggest story of the USPBL last season, outside of the Utica Unicorns winning it all, Donnie Murray completing a no-hitter last season. You never know what you're going to expect when you show up to the ballpark. Maybe we'll see something of that nature here tonight. As Murray finishes his warm-up pitches, let's quickly give you the defense that's lined up behind him. From left to right in the outfield, from Utah Valley in left, that's number 7, Justin Erlanderson. In center field, out of Indiana State, that's number 8, Tony Rosselli. In right field, from Cornell University, that is Chris Cruz, one of the fan favorites here at the USPBL in his second season. From left to right in the infield, at third base, number 10, Bobby Webb. At shortstop, the stash, Brett Belkin out of Cal State Northridge. At second base, out of Farley Dickinson University, that's Dylan Sprague. And over there at first base, out of Long Beach, California, Tanner Levine doing the job over there at first. And the battery mate for Donnie Murray, who's out of Holy Cross, will be throwing to Greg Jones out of Carson Newman University. The first 3 batters that Donnie Murray will face here, at least in this first inning. Jalen Lawson, he will be leading things off for the Mammoths, batting second. The third baseman out of George Mason, Kent Blackstone, and batting third, playing center field today, out of Northwestern, a Big Ten player, Thomas Fielsel. So Donnie Murray, I think, about to throw his final warm-up pitch. In fact, he has, is Greg Jones, the catcher, bobbling a little bit, but getting the toss down there. It's a good night for baseball, a little bit warmer than last night. As of right now, it is 72 degrees here in Utica, Michigan. Jalen Lawson getting set to step into the batter's box on the season. Lawson, a .217 average, making just his 8th overall start for the Westside Woolly Mammoths. He's got 23 at-bats, 5 hits. He's came in to score only once this year, 3 RBIs, 3 walks with 4 strikeouts. So not a ton of numbers, but he is 2 for 2 on the base pass. Good start there for Donnie Murray. A fastball down the heart of the plate that Lawson swings right through. First pitch at 7:01 p.m. Couple of clouds off in the distance, but overall an absolutely beautiful night for baseball. Couldn't ask for a much more perfect temperature to start off at game time. Jalen Lawson, meanwhile, fouling off the second pitch he sees in the at-bat. He's quickly dug himself into an 0-2 hole. The Mammoths, meanwhile, mentioned it in the pregame, have won 12 of 16 meetings between these two teams here thus far. As Lawson hits a hard ground ball over to the left side. It actually ricochets off of Bobby Webb at third base. The shortstop, Brett Belkin, reacting to it, getting the loose baseball, throwing it over to first. But Lawson just too much speed running down that first base line. He reaches first base safely. No ruling just yet on a hit or an error. And in fact, right then and there, as I say that, the error costing against Bobby Webb, the third baseman for the Utica Unicorns. So Lawson reaches on the E5 to start off this ball game. Obviously not the way Donnie Murray, the starter, wanted things to go from the get-go, but all he can do is adapt and react from here on out. Kent Blackstone, the next batter here for the Westside Woolly Mammoths, standing in. Blackstone on the season, batting .232 as he looks at ball 1 outside here. Mammoths wearing their gray navy pants and blue jerseys on the top. It reads Mammoths across the chest in white. Meanwhile, the Unicorns in their all-white jerseys. A couple of players supporting the high knees. Socks covered. Those are the purple socks of the Unicorns. Meanwhile, Blackstone swinging right through the second pitch of the at-bat, evening the count up at 1-1. Mentioned on the season, Lawson, 2 of 2 on the base pass, a 1-1 count here. Don't be surprised if he thinks about going to second base on this one. Smart idea. Donnie Murray thinking the same thing as I was. Keeps an eye on Lawson over there at first base. Blackstone, though, 32 138, making his 40th start of the season for the Woolly Mammoths. The 1-1 pitch fouled off and into the netting right here behind home plate. Couple of eager fans excited to catch one of those, but the protective netting, one of the biggest I've seen in all of baseball, covering the entire grandstands from left to right here at Jimmy John's Field. 315 down the left field line, 320 down right, 395 to dead center. Ken Blackstone with 2 homers on the year. Would be a big spot here against Murray. A good swing on this pitch, but that baseball is going to go all the way out to M59 behind us here in the grandstands. Jimmy John's Field just off of M59 here in Utica, Michigan. A great addition to the city. It's absolutely flourished in its first nearly 2 seasons here in the great state of Michigan. Blackstone ready for the 1-2 offer. He fouls off another pitch, this time over to the left side. That one getting a piece of the netting and going back onto the field. Count remains at 1-2 on Blackstone. Mentioned Donnie Murray on the season against the Westside Woolly Mammoths. 40.2 innings pitched. He's got 25 hits against him, 8 earned runs, 18 walks, but 42 strikeouts through the 9 starts this year. As I say that, though, the 1-2 pitch getting away from the catcher, Greg Jones, behind the dish, and Lawson quickly scampering over there to second base. He moves up on what I'm assuming was the wild pitch, either a wild pitch or a pass ball. No stolen base to Lawson's credit there, but he now moves into scoring position. No outs here. The count 2-2 on the batter, Kent Blackstone. Blackstone out of Vienna, Virginia. He calls time here as Donnie Murray was about ready to come set, but just a tad too late for Blackstone's likings. So we'll do this all over again. Lawson over there on second with a decent lead. Murray with the long look to second, the deep breath, the delivery. Fastball on the outside corner. Not enough for the home plate umpire. That one just missing that outside white paint. And Blackstone has worked the count full. Payoff pitch ensuing right here. This ball hit high and deep, but far foul down that right field line. Actually ricochets off of one of the carts down there and off onto M59 it goes. So that baseball clearly done for. The count remaining 3-2, but Kent Blackstone, what an at-bat here thus far. Pitch number 9 of the at-bat about to proceed, and it's hit high and deep down the right field line. This one, if it stays fair, it might be gone. Instead, just foul about 315 feet down that right field line into the picnic area where fans have reached their destinations for this one, enjoying a couple of cold drinks here at the ballpark and great baseball. Unicorns and Woolly Mammoths going at it if you're just joining us here. Jalen Lawson led this game off, reaching on an error committed by Bobby Webb, the third baseman for the Unicorns, and Kent Blackstone working on the 10th pitch of this at-bat against Donnie Murray. The payoff pitch, 3-2, missing just outside, and Kent Blackstone, give yourself a pat on the back, young man. That 10-pitch at-bat leading to a walk brings runners to first and second here for the Woolly Mammoths, threatening early. No outs still on the board here as Thomas Fielsel out of Northwestern, the Wildcat, stepping into the batter's box. Fielsel on the season, third best batting average on the Westside team, batting .271 on the year. Swings right through pitch number 1 here in this at-bat, gets nothing out of it. Fielsel on the season, 16 of 59. He's came in to score 11 times through his first 16 starts with the Westside Woolly Mammoths. He's got a double, a triple, still looking for his first home run. 2 RBIs to his credit, 8 walks, and 11 strikeouts on the year. The 0-1 pitch might have been a little low for Fielsel's liking, but home plate umpire calling it a strike anyway. Count going to 0-2 on the batter out of Northwestern. Sold out crowd here tonight at Jimmy John's Field, matching up what they had last night for the fireworks. Murray, the 0-2 offer in the dirt. Good stop there from Greg Jones, but a nice idea there from the right-hander out of Holy Cross to try and get Fielsel to chase after one here. A strikeout would be huge for Donnie Murray with 2 men on base, nobody out in this top of the first inning. Slow start here for the right-hander. The count 1-2, curveball falling into the zone, but just getting a piece of it. Fielsel stays alive, so just like Blackstone, Fielsel having a good at-bat. Murray seems to be on here to start this one, but the Westside Woolly Mammoths doing a good job having a keen approach at the plate, forcing Donnie Murray to work that much harder. This pitch lifted into left center field. Not going to be deep enough for Tony Rosselli to catch this one. And that's a base hit that loads the bases. So Fielsel, the first hit of the game, but loads the bases for the Westside Woolly Mammoths. And that brings up the cleanup hitter, Alex Abbott. So the batter, Alex Abbott, coming up to the plate in the DH spot here tonight. Abbott, though, on the season, a .275 average. Would be a big spot here for the Westside Woolly Mammoths to get a nice early lead here. Abbott, though, chasing after the first pitch he sees as Donnie Murray gets ahead in the count, 0-1. Alex Abbott on the year, 39 of 142, making his 41st appearance for the Westside Woolly Mammoths. He's came in to score 20 times on the year and driven in 24 himself. Looks at ball 1 here, low and inside. Evens the count up at 1-1. Fielsel, like I mentioned, just 2 RBIs on the season. He has struck out 11 times. But with an opportunity to get his third, fourth, fifth, maybe even sixth RBIs of the season. Abbott on this one, though, hitting a high fly ball right side of the infield. Both Tanner Levine as well as Dylan Sprague trying to communicate. It ends up going down into the mitt of Tanner Levine at first base for out number one. Finally, Donnie Murray records an out here, a big one, as the bases remain loaded. That brings up Ethan Whisker. Whisker on the season, batting just .194. Couple of home runs to his credit, 2 to be in fact. 16 RBIs on the year with 18 hits. Bases loaded, 1 out on the board for the Utica Unicorns. Whisker ready for the first pitch, chases after it. A good pitch from Murray in the zone, elevated just a bit. Whisker couldn't catch up to it. Ethan Whisker out of Hillsdale College, trying to put the Mammoths on the board here early. Murray comes set, delivers the fastball, fouled off right here and behind home plate in front of the fans. The grandstands just about all packed up and ready to go here for this one. Diamond tables underneath. Can't get closer in all of professional baseball if you're sitting right behind home plate. Just 15 feet between the diamond tables and that plate right there at home where Ethan Whisker stands. Down in the count, 0-2. Murray sets, delivers, throws a pitch in the dirt at 80 miles an hour. Not sure what pitch that was, but clearly a waste pitch that Murray was trying to get Whisker to chase after. Whisker doing a good job of holding off on that one. The Woolly Mammoths 2.5 games back behind the Unicorns. Like I mentioned, just 7 more regular season games to go, getting down to the wire. Both teams desperate for a win as the Unicorns sit in 3rd place, the Mammoths in 4th. And as I say that, Ethan Whisker chases after a pitch for strike number 3. And Donnie Murray, after a leadoff error from the third baseman Bobby Webb, a no-out walk brought runners to first and second after Kent Blackstone faced 10 pitches in his at-bat. Thomas Fielsel worked a 1-2 single that was lifted into left center field. Abbott and Whisker, though, retired since then. 2 outs with bases loaded here is Sean Wood, the man I got the pleasure of interviewing in front of the USPBL grandstands before the game. Hits a soft ground ball to the right side, but a nice job there from Tanner Levine as well as Donnie Murray. The PFPs going in full force here in this top of the first inning. Woolly Mammoths load the bases with no outs, but cannot get a run across the board. We'll take a quick break, but when we come back, Unicorns have their first at-bats of the night. You're listening to the USPBL YouTube channel here with Rich Borland. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here to Game 64 of the second season of the United Shore Professional Baseball League. Unicorns and Woolly Mammoths going at it here tonight. Mammoths threatened by loading the bases on an error, a walk, and a single to start off this ball game, but a pop out to first, a strikeout, and a ground out to first ended that early threat committed by the Westside Woolly Mammoths. And now Travis McQueen out to start on the mound for the Westside Woolly Mammoths, making his 6th start and 17th overall appearance this season. He's got a 2-2 record with a 4.43 ERA. He's got 42.2 innings pitched this season, 34 strikeouts, 13 walks, and 48 hits given up. The first pitch thrown to the leadoff man for the Unicorns, the stash, Brett Belkin. Ball low and in the dirt. Ball 1 here as Belkin works the 1-0 count early on. McQueen started off the season 0-2 on 2 straight losses in 2 appearances. August 13th and 19th, he lost to the Beavers as he throws ball 2 low as well. Got a victory, though, his first on July 29th against these Unicorns. Went 6 innings strong as he throws called strike 1 there to Brett Belkin. Belkin, meanwhile, the best average on this Utica team, 308 coming into play today, 45 hits and 146 at-bats. He came in to score 29 times in his 42 games. He hits a high ground ball over to the left side where Kent Blackstone's trying to make a tough play. It looked good from the start, but the first baseman, Riley Palmer, not able to keep up with that throw. And it looks like, we'll make sure we get this ruling here real quick. In my opinion, if the ball was caught, I think Belkin would have been, in fact, thrown out. And as a matter of fact, they do put an error on the board. So either an E5 or an E3 right there. I'm assuming it's going to go to the first baseman, Riley Palmer, who's actually the player of the game, the 1-800-Hanson's player of the game for the Woolly Mammoths. So not a great start for the first baseman there. Meanwhile, Chris Cruz standing in for the first time tonight from the left side. Chases after a fastball to start off his at-bat. Cruz on the season, batting .215. 5 home runs to his credit, 23 RBIs, 31 hits. On the 0-1 offer, stolen base attempt, Brett Belkin looked as if the ball might have beat him there, but a little swim move gets himself past the tag attempt from Jeff Smith, and Belkin slides in there safely with the stolen base. Cruz, meanwhile, looking at ball 1 as Belkin takes second. No outs here, the count 1-1. Mammoths loaded the bases with no outs in the top of the first, but could not get anything out of it. Chris Cruz on the 1-1 pitch, chases after a low and outside changeup that forces the count to go to 1-2. Belkin with a hefty lead over there in between second and third, but Chris Cruz looking at a pitch inside, and that one getting called strike 3. He gets rung up by the home plate umpire for out number 1 here. Not the ideal start that either starter wanted. They both got errors to start off their nights here on this 26th of August, but both seem to limit the damage through their first inning of work so far. Still a long ways to go here for Travis McQueen with the runner over there on second base, Belkin. And Tanner Levine now coming up to the plate. Looking at ball 1 outside is Levine. Levine out of Long Beach, California. On the season, Levine batting .206 as he looks at ball 2 out of the zone, outside. Infield, outfield for the most part at normal depth outside of Jalen Lawson. He is standing on the outfield grass at that normal second base position. He starts to creep into the infield as the play is made. And as I say that, a bloop single down the left field line for Tanner Levine. And as I say that, he slides all the way into second base. So sort of out there in no man's land down the left field line. Too far for the third baseman, Kent Blackstone. Too shallow for Ethan Whisker out there in left. And Jeff Smith got a good jump on it, but could not get to the baseball in time, the shortstop. And because of it, Taylor Levine using his speed, the first baseman, not sure he had too much speed, but showing it right there. He gets all the way into second with a double. Brett Belkin, though, only moving up 90 feet because he wasn't sure if that ball was going to be caught or not. Better to play on the safe side with just 1 out as he was standing in scoring position. But runners now at second and third. A couple of ducks on the pond for Willie Martin, the designated hitter tonight here for the Utica Unicorns. First pitch to Martin, a slider that falls over the heart of the plate for a called strike. Martin on the season batting .242. He's got 2 home runs, 10 RBIs, 8 hits to his credit. He's came in to score 9 times as well and walked 6 times. Fights off a high and inside pitch right there, but goes foul over some heads of fans in the grandstands to my right. And the count quickly dropping to 0-2 on Willie Martin. Infield staying at normal depth, not coming in just yet. Mammoths, I'm assuming, thinking they're going to get a couple of runs tonight, so therefore looking for the out instead of trying to get the play at the plate. On the 0-2 offer, Willie Martin looks at a close pitch, a fastball inside at 89 miles an hour out of the hand of Travis McQueen. Pitch number 4 of the at-bat, inside as well. A little bit more inside on that one. Willie Martin looked like he might have gotten clipped just enough by the baseball, but he doesn't try and sell it. He stays in there. He's trying to get a hit, possibly a couple of RBIs. One out here on the board. Chris Cruz struck out looking. The 2-2 pitch, slider missing outside, not even close to the zone. Nice job there from Nick Kraus, the Hillsborough Community College native, coming up with that one. Count now ranging full. Decent gaps in the outfield for Willie Martin. Let's see if he can put it there. The 3-2 pitch lifted high in the middle of the infield. Only one out on the board. Runners at second and third, so no infield fly. Mammoths have to earn this one. But coming in about 30 feet to catch that one, Jalen Lawson coming up with the catch for out number 2, right around pitcher's mound. But a nice job there of Lawson to take charge in the infield for out number 2. That will bring up Tony Rosselli, the 1-800-Hanson's player of the game for the Unicorns. So runners remain at second and third. That's Brett Belkin at third, Tanner Levine at second. Tony Rosselli trying to give the Unicorns their first run to the game. He hits a high fly ball deep into center field, but Thomas Fielsel making the catch. So Rosselli, the center fielder for the Utica Unicorns, flying out to the center fielder of the Mammoths for the third and final out on the first pitch he sees. Nice job there from Travis McQueen to get out of a tough jam, just like Donnie Murray had done. A couple of early struggles for both pitchers, but no runs on the board. We head to the second inning. You're listening to the USPBL YouTube channel. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Game 64 on tap here for you. Got the Utica Unicorns and Westside Woolly Mammoths going at it. Couple of early threats for both offenses, but no runs have came across the board. Both Donnie Murray as well as Travis McQueen getting out of some early jams. We'll see how the rest of the story gets told here as Donnie Murray comes out for his second inning of work. He'll face Jeff Smith, Nick Krause, and Riley Palmer, the 7, 8, 9 hitters in this Woolly Mammoth lineup. The first pitch to Smith is a ball on the inside corner, and then pitch number 2, he fouls off down the left field line. Nice hard hit ball, but not in the field of play, so nothing going there for Jeff Smith, right-hander out of Missouri Baptist. Jeff Smith on this one, hitting a line drive towards that second baseman, Dylan Sprague. It was a soft liner. Initially, it looked as if that ball might have made contact with the ground on the infield on the right side, but in fact called it out on the liner. Nice job there from Sprague to come up with the baseball cleanly. So that line out to second base is good enough for out number 1 here in this top of the second inning. An absolutely tremendous night for baseball. Sun starting to set, lights making their way on as Nick Krause stands in here now. Krause looks at strike 1 on the outside corner to start off this at-bat. Krause batting just 159 on the season. On the 0-1, he hits a hard ground ball over to the left side. Brett Belkin with tons of speed, charging that loose ball. He made an initial error to himself, but comes up with the baseball and retires Nick Krause over there at first base in time for out number 2. Nice job reacting there from the stash that everybody here calls him. Brett Belkin doing a good job of reacting to that one. So quickly 2 up, 2 down here for Donnie Murray, retiring his former teammate Nick Krause, who was a champion last year with the Utica Unicorns. Obviously going to the Westside Woolly Mammoths with this 4th team being added this year. Riley Palmer now standing in for the Westside Woolly Mammoths. Looks at a called strike 1 on the outside corner. Palmer on the season batting .216. He's got 29 hits and 134 at-bats, making his 40th game appearance for the Woolly Mammoths this season. Looking at ball 1 low and in the dirt to even the count up at 1-1. 2 outs on the board, bases empty. Donnie Murray having a whole lot quicker inning here in this second than he had in the first. It took him 25 pitches to get through that first initial frame. And on the 1-1 pitch, Riley Palmer fouls off one softly towards the first base side. Murray with that long windup, forcing Palmer to chase after one high and inside. A 1-2-3 inning for Donnie Murray in the second inning. It took just, let's count it real quick, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pitches for Mr. Murray. That gives him 34 pitches through 2 innings. And after an inning and a half, we're still scoreless here at Jimmy John's Field between the Mammoths and Unicorns. You're listening to the USPBL YouTube channel. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here to game 64 of 71 of this 2017 USPBL season. Rich Borland alongside with you. We are now in the bottom of the second inning. Greg Jones standing in from the left side for the Utica Unicorns to lead things off. He's in the sixth spot. Dylan Sprague standing on deck. Bobby Webb in the hole. Greg Jones chases after the second pitch of the at-bat after looking at ball one. And he looks at another one just right there. Brings the count to 2-1 on the left-handed hitter. Jones on the 1-2, as I got crossed up with the scoreboard right there. Jones must have been in a 1-2 count. Looks at called strike three right there down Broadway. Good enough for the second strikeout via the look tonight for Travis McQueen. One out on the board here in this bottom of the second inning. So Dylan Sprague now standing in. Sprague on the season as he looks at ball one, a .237 batting average. He's got 14 hits in 59 at-bats, making his 21st appearance in a Utica uniform this season. Shows the bunt, pulls back, but a called strike from the home plate umpire evens things up at 1-1 here. Sprague looking at ball two, high and outside, not even close to the zone. Kraus having to jump to his left out of his seat to block that baseball, catching it in the air. Count moving to 2-1 on Sprague. Sprague 13 RBIs, 17 walks on the season. Looks at ball three, a two-seamer that runs out of the zone. And quickly, Dylan Sprague has worked a good hitter's count here with one out on the board. The 3-1 pitch from Travis McQueen, just high and inside enough for it to be called ball four. And that is walk number one on the night for the right-hander out of Radford University. Third base runner of the night for the Unicorns. One out, the runner on first is Dylan Sprague. First pitch to the next batter, Bobby Webb, the third baseman for the Unicorns. High and inside with a ball. On the season, Dylan Sprague, 1 for 2 on the base pass. We'll see if he decides to try and go anywhere. He stays put, but a good swing from Bobby Webb. Just a can of corn, though, out there in center field for Thomas Fielsel. He catches that baseball for out number 2. And that'll bring up the number 9 hitter, Justin Erlanderson. So as I get corrected, it's Erlinson, as Justin Erlinson stands in. This is his first plate appearance of the night, the last batter of this ball game in first at-bats, that is. Erlinson on the season batting .222 for the Utica Unicorns. Came in to score just twice in 27 at-bats. He's got 6 hits through the first 10 games with the Unicorns. He looks at ball one to start off this at-bat. Sprague, like I mentioned, 1 for 2 on the base pass. Doesn't look to be going anywhere. Erlinson hitting a soft ground ball over to the left side where Jeff Smith, the Mizzou Baptist player, comes up with that one. The 6-3 put out for out number 3 retires the Unicorns in the home half of the second. We head to the third as we're scoreless here on the USPBL YouTube channel. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here to Game 64 of the USPBL second season. Donnie Murray out for his third inning of work. He has gone through the first round of this Mammoth lineup through the first 2 innings. He had given up just 1 hit, 1 walk, and had 2 strikeouts in this one so far. He's facing off against Jalen Lawson for the second time tonight. Lawson led this ball game off, reaching on an error committed by Bobby Webb. Lawson in his second plate appearance, showing bunt, pulling back, and looking at ball 1. Murray ready for pitch number 2. Lawson hitting that one, but right off the mask of Greg Jones behind home plate. He seems to be just fine, though, as his mask got taken off right there. Count even at 1-1 here in this top of the third inning. We're scoreless here from Jimmy John's Field. Just 1 hit apiece for both teams in this early on pitcher's duel between Donnie Murray and Travis McQueen. The 1-1 offer to Jalen Lawson gets fouled off once again, and the count quickly is dropped to 1-2 on the batter. On the season, 5 for 23, no home runs, 3 RBIs for Lawson. More of a guy that uses his speed. He hits this one high and shallow towards the left side of the infield. Bobby Webb seeing the baseball off the bat of Lawson for the second time tonight, but a much easier path. He catches that one in the air for out number 1 here in this top of the third. So 1 out on the board here in this top of the third inning. Kent Blackstone stands in for the second time tonight. He has not been retired just yet. Reached on a 10-pitch walk back in his first plate appearance. The man standing on deck, Thomas Fielsel, the only Mammoth with a hit on the night, but Blackstone definitely with the toughest at-bat against Donnie Murray so far tonight. And just like that, Blackstone looking at 2 straight pitches here in this one, and both of them have missed the strike zone. So Blackstone really seeing the baseball well here tonight. The 2-0 pitch driven opposite field into left center. If this one's gone, it is an opposite field home run for Kent Blackstone. Gives the Westside Woolly Mammoths their first run of the game and a 1-0 lead here. So just the second hit of the game for the Westside Woolly Mammoths leaves the yard with 1 out here in the top of the third. Kent Blackstone on the season. That is his 3rd home run for the Woolly Mammoths. Breaks this one open. So we'll see if Donnie Murray can adjust after giving up that home run. He gives up another big fly right here, but this one staying in the ballpark, going a good 380-some feet, though, as the center fielder, Tony Rosselli, comes up with that catch out there to dead center for out number 2. And that brings up Alex Abbott, the designated hitter tonight for the Westside Woolly Mammoths. Abbott on the season, batting .275 coming into play tonight. Looking at a called strike 1 on the outside corner. He goes down in the count quickly, 0-1. Popped out to Tanner Levine for out number 1 with bases loaded back in the first. He's got nobody on the base pass here, but looks at ball 1. That looked good from up here. Count, though, evens up at 1-1. Murray just missing the zone there. 2 outs, nobody on. Abbott ready for the next pitch. Looking at ball 2. That one coming close as well. Donnie Murray getting squeezed on a couple of pitches right there, but clearly the home plate umpire with a better view than me up here in the broadcast booth. Close, but just missing on the last 2 pitches. The count's 2-1. A backdoor slider right there. Can't fall into the zone either. And now the count has come to 3-1 on Abbott. Abbott on the season, 24 walks to 38 strikeouts. And he's got 39 hits to his credit. The 3-1 pitch from Donnie Murray on the outside half. This ball hit high but shallow in center field. Tony Rosselli looks like he's going to have back-to-back putouts, and in fact he will. So the third and final out is retired here in this top of the third inning, but not before Kent Blackstone hits his third home run of the season, gives the Woolly Mammoths the first run of the ball game. They take the 1-0 lead into the home half of the third. You're listening to the USPBL YouTube channel. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Rich Borland here with you. Before I can barely introduce us back into this ball game to start off the home half of the third, the top of the order for the Unicorns, Brett Belkin swings and takes the first pitch he sees out into right field. One up, one down on one pitch as Sean Wood comes up with the catch. Nice start here for Travis McQueen, the Radford University native. Going to have to deal with Chris Cruz here now, one of the two victims via the strikeout here tonight against McQueen. And a nice start here for Travis as he leads off Cruz with a fastball inside for a called strike. And then another fastball inside. Cruz this time taking a cut at it, but can't do anything with it. That ball too far inside. He drives it out of play to our right. On the 0-2, Cruz looked like he might have went around. Home plate umpire initially says he did not, but the help from the man over at first base says Cruz had went around. Obviously, from a batter's perspective, you hate to see that getting called out by the base umpire on the opposite side of the angle. Obviously, if there was a third base umpire, it would have been a whole lot easier for him to see. But first base umpire says that Cruz, the left-handed hitter, had gone around. And quickly, 2 up, 2 down here for the Unicorns as Tanner Levine, the only Utica Unicorn with a hit here tonight. He had that double back in the first, but couldn't get any further on the base pass. He stands in from the left side now. Takes a big cut at the first pitch he sees. Swings right through it, though, as he's quickly down in the count 0-1. Coming into the inning, McQueen sitting at 31 pitches, but doing very nice job here through the first 3 guys he has seen. Just 6 pitches in the inning, and he could end it after 7. Instead, pitch number 7 of the inning, a fastball that tails high and away out of the zone. Levine not chasing after it, so he stays alive for at least one more pitch. Crowd getting into it here. Bases empty, 2 outs here in the bottom of the third inning between the Westside Woolly Mammoths and Utica Unicorns. On this one, batter Levine snubs one over to the left side, barely gets a piece of it. It hits it off the end of the bat. It rolls over to the third baseman. That was Kent Blackstone, and he comes up with the baseball for the third and final out. A 1-2-3 inning for the Westside Woolly Mammoths. Ends the third. As we head to the fourth inning, they lead it by a score of 1-0. You're listening to the USPBL YouTube channel. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Rich Borland here with you. Big game between these two teams. Just a 1-0 advantage for the Westside Woolly Mammoths as we head to this top of the fourth inning. The only run coming off the bat of Kent Blackstone. The solo shot back in the third. The leadoff man, Ethan Whisker, hitting a soft ground ball to the left side. A short hop there for Bobby Webb. He comes up with the nice defensive Webb gem for out number one on one pitch. Nice job there. Donnie Murray tipping the cap to his third baseman for out number one. So Whisker gets retired for the second time on the night. That brings up Sean Wood, the right fielder for this Westside Woolly Mammoth team, who I had that pregame interview with out in front of the gates here at Jimmy John's Field. He was talking about how crucial each one of these last couple of games are as he fouls off the first pitch he sees out of play to our right. But the Mammoths, who sit at 19-25, they sit 5.5 games behind the first place leading Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers. They're 2-8 in their last 10. They're trying to turn things around. As Wood swings right through the second pitch he sees, quickly down in the count, 0-2. One out here, bases empty. Donnie Murray coming into the inning with 47 pitches. He has just made it to the 50 mark. And pitch number 51 missing low and inside. Brings the count to 1-2 on Sean Wood. Wood coming into this one, just a 122 batting average. He's got 6 hits and 49 at-bats, trying to turn things around. As I say that, the 1-2 pitch just missing on that outside corner. Evens the count up at 2-2. You wonder how far Donnie Murray will go here tonight. Not sure what his limit is if he continues at the pace he's at. He's doing well, not giving up any runs, but that pitch count sort of creeping up there as the catcher, Greg Jones, can't squeeze onto that foul ball, forcing more pitches to be thrown here now from Murray. Wood grounded out to Tanner Levine in his first plate appearance. That ended the first inning with the bases loaded. The tough start for the Woolly Mammoths, but like I mentioned, they've put up that one run via that home run from Blackstone back in the third. But on the 2-2 pitch, Sean Wood chases after one and gets retired for out number 2. Donnie Murray looking sharp here in this fourth inning. He had a 1-2-3 inning in the second, looking for his second one tonight. He faced 6 batters in the first inning, 4 in the third, but retired Jeff Smith to start off the second inning. He stands in here now, lined out to Dylan Sprague, back to start off that second inning. He hits another hard line drive, this one to the left side of the infield. Brett Balkin reaching down, getting on a knee and making the catch for the third and final out. We head to the home half of the fourth. Nice hit right there from Jeff Smith, but it could only find the glove of Brett Balkin. Mammoths lead it though 1-0 as we head to the bottom of the fourth. You're listening to the USPBL YouTube channel. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Heading to the home half of the fourth inning. Westside Woolly Mammoths and Travis McQueen taking the 1-0 advantage here into this frame. Willie Martin, Tony Rosselli, and Greg Jones due up for the Utica Unicorns in this frame. Willie Martin on the first chance he gets, fouls off a pitch on a long swing and stride. He's down in the count quickly, 0-1. Martin popped out to Jalen Lawson back for out number 2 in the first. He's got a .242 batting average coming into play tonight, and just over the jumping Kent Blackstone at third base. A line drive single, good enough for the second hit of the night for the Utica Unicorns. Willie Martin leads off this home half of the fourth with a base knock. So good start for the Unicorns here in this fourth inning. Tony Rosselli with an opportunity to drive in a run. He'll have to hit it pretty far, though, if he wants Willie Martin to come in to score from first base. Rosselli flew out to center in his first plate appearance, hits a ball high and shallow. This one might stay in play. Blackstone going as far as he possibly can towards that end of the dugout down the third base line where the Utica Unicorns stand. And it would have been an incredible play if Blackstone came up with it. It looked as if the ball had landed just on the other side of that fence. He could have possibly reached or dove for that baseball. It would have been quite the theatrics, but instead, just strike number 1 on Rosselli. So Rosselli, staying alive. But a nasty slider there out of the hand of McQueen forces Rosselli to chase after that one. Just 71 miles an hour. So you go from a fastball at 89 to a slider at 71. Talk about mixing and matching up against your opposition. A good job right there from the right-hander McQueen. As I say that, the 0-2 pitch fouled off and over my head here in the press box. The runner over on first is Willie Martin. Martin on the season, no stolen bases to his credit. And Rosselli, as I say that, strikes out via the swing and miss for out number one here in this fourth. And now Greg Jones coming up to the plate. He, just like Tony Rosselli, a strikeout to his credit on the night. Jones led off the second, looking at a called strike three. McQueen with an opportunity to get two with just one play if he can force a ground ball out of the bat of Greg Jones. Jones, meanwhile, on a pitch low in the dirt, tries to hold up, but cannot. And he's quickly down in the count 0-1 as the home plate umpire says he had went around. But the 0-1 pitch hit high down that right field line. Good enough to stay in play. All three Mammoths ranging over there, and it's going to be the first baseman, Riley Palmer, coming up with that one. A tough play initially as a fielder on those tough pop-ups. First thing you want to do is fly as fast as you can to the destination you think the ball is traveling and then look up to try and find it. Palmer, though, was sort of drifting as he was looking up to find that baseball. But the ball was hit so high that he could get to the destination in time and make the catch for the pop-out for out number two. Dylan Sprague now standing in from the left side here with 2 outs in the home half of the fourth. Mammoths leading it 1-0. Travis McQueen trying to get his third victory of the season, making his 6th start here for the Westside Woolly Mammoths. Starts off Sprague with a ball outside. Sprague on the season batting .237. So Sprague looking at another one, quickly ahead in the count, 2-0. Martin not going anywhere on this pitch, but this ball's lifted deep into right center field. It looks like it's going to be enough at the wall, and robbing the home run, coming up with that baseball is Sean Wood. He takes that one away from Dylan Sprague for the third and final out here in the fourth inning. What a catch by Sean Wood out of Old Dominion. Comes up with that one for the out. The Mammoths remain out in front, 1-0 as we head to the fifth. You're listening to the USPBL YouTube channel. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Game 64 here of the 2017 USPBL season. Quite the duel we have going on so far. If you're just joining us, you missed out just at the wrong time. Starting right fielder Sean Wood for the Westside Woolly Mammoths, robbing Dylan Sprague of a home run to right field, leaping over the wall with his glove, making the catch, bringing the ball back into the diamond to keep the Unicorns off the board. And the Mammoths now got Nick Kraus standing in the batter's box. He looks at ball one to start off this fifth inning. Another fastball inside, that one almost getting a piece of Kraus's jersey. Instead, he gets out of the way in time. He has worked the count to 2-0. Kraus grounded out over to the shortstop, Brett Balkin, back in the second inning. Kraus batting just a pinch under 160 this year as he chases after the 2-0 fastball high in the zone for strike one. Kraus played all of last season with the Utica Unicorns, became a champion in 2016. The Unicorns had started off, as I say that, Kraus hitting a ball down the right field line, going to be about 5 feet foul, so he's going to have to continue this at-bat, now even at 2-2. But back to what I was saying, the Unicorns last season had such an awful start to the year. I believe at one point they were 8-22 or something of that nature, right around there. Single digits in the victory column, and then over 20 losses at one point. They added some players, dropped some players throughout the season, and it's all about playing well at the right time. Obviously, the Unicorns winning last season over the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers. Beavers, meanwhile, as Nick Kraus fouls off another one, sit 5.5 games up on the Westside Woolly Mammoths. They're at 26-21. And over in the East, the Unicorns trailing the Eastside Diamond Hoppers by just a game and a half. Unicorns coming into play tonight at 23-24. The Diamond Hoppers 24-22. The Westside Woolly Mammoths sitting at 19-25. The Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers at 26-21. Things getting down to the wire here as Nick Kraus fouls off another one. And he has seen 6 pitches in this at-bat, 2 of them just for balls. Kraus on the season, 7 of 44. The 2-2 pitch from Donnie Murray inside. Kraus hits this one just foul. Looked as if it might have been fair down that third baseline, but that one just going over that third base bag in foul territory. Kraus continues to work in this at-bat, coming just close down both the right and left field lines. A huge gap out in right center field in between Tony Rosselli and Chris Cruz. As Rosselli playing in left center where he normally does like to play. I've seen the Unicorns play twice so far in this season, as I was working with the High Point Thomasville High Toms in North Carolina over the summer. Coming back to help out the USPBL as I was an intern and broadcaster here last season. And as I say that, Kraus getting a ball thrown near his head. And I actually think, noticing the call from the home plate umpire, I think that got a piece of the baseball bat. I don't think that hit Kraus at all, merely just startled him. And it looks like, yeah, Kraus staying in there. A tough break there. Not only does the count stay at 2-2, it doesn't ring full. But that, a foul ball against Kraus right there. You don't see that happen every day. We'll see what happens here as he continues in this at-bat. The 2-2 pitch, fastball outside, just missing there. A good pitch, and Kraus, obviously not one of the best hitters, more known for his defense behind the dish. Doing a great job at the plate here in this one, looking at that fastball that just missed the zone. The 3-2 pitch, fastball outside more than the last one. Kraus chasing after it, though, for the first out here in this top of the 5th inning. But let's count them real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pitches in the at-bat for Nick Kraus. The second 10-pitch at-bat that Donnie Murray has had here tonight. The first one resulted in a walk to Kent Blackstone. Kent Blackstone has had his number here tonight. Blackstone had worked that 10-pitch walk back in the first and then had that home run in the third. Good enough for the only run in this ballgame. Blackstone looking good enough to be the spark plug player of the game from O'Reilly's. But still some time to be played here in this ball game. As I say that, keep an eye out over there down the right field patio. That one a hard line drive. The right and left field patio areas, protective netting not as high up as the grandstands ones. That one hopefully not making contact with any fans down the right field line. Palmer down in the count 0-1. He struck out for the third and final out back in that 1-2-3 inning in the second for Donnie Murray. 1 of 2 as he retired the Mammoths in order in the fourth. Trying to do so here in the fifth as he throws ball 1 to Palmer right there. That one bouncing into the catcher's mitt of Greg Jones. Count evens up at 1-1. Murray with that long windup. The 1-1 pitch, two-seamer outside. Chasing after it was Palmer. Murray with quite the delivery. Haven't mentioned about that just here tonight. He starts off facing towards home plate with both feet. That front left leg starts off stepping back, and then he motions into his windup. As I say that, the 1-2 pitch from Donnie Murray, Riley Palmer swings at it. Initially thought it might have been called a foul ball. The catcher, that was Greg Jones, did not make the catch, and the home plate umpire giving the reasoning for that no foul ball call. The ball had dropped into the dirt after the swing and miss, but home plate umpire mentioning towards the third base coach of the Westside Woolly Mammoths, I think that's Shane McCaddy, the manager, that the ball was dropped in the exchange from the catcher Greg Jones. So back-to-back strikeouts here for Donnie Murray in this fifth inning. Coming into the inning at 55 pitches. He's got to head back to the top of this Woolly Mammoth lineup in Jalen Lawson. Lawson on the first pitch he sees, shows bunt, pulls back for ball number 1. On the 1-0, a big cut from Lawson, but no contact being made. The fastball high and away. Lawson saw that one right in his wheelhouse, but couldn't get anything out of it. The count even at 1-1. On the 1-1 pitch, the fastball inside, called a strike. Lawson having a bit of disagreement with that home plate umpire, saying that Greg Jones must have done an incredible framing job on that one. But hey, give the catcher some credit right there. The 1-2 pitch, meanwhile, low and away. Lawson holding off on that one. Still with some words as he's talking to now both, it looks to be the catcher and the home plate umpire. So stay tuned with that conversation. The count even at 2-2 with 2 outs. Lawson hitting a ball high down that right field line. It's going to be good enough to stay in the park, but will fall foul as both Chris Cruz and Tanner Levine, as well as Dylan Sprague, trying to make their way towards that baseball, but over in no man's land it falls. Like I mentioned, a big, wide open foul area space on the field itself. Sort of reminds you of the Coliseum in Oakland. A lot of area in between the baselines and the dugouts. Unlike the Coliseum where there's no protective barrier, there are here at Jimmy John's Field. Obviously safety, one of the main concerns here at the ballpark. Another foul ball off the bat of Lawson, continuing to make Donnie Murray work here. 55 strikes to 23 balls on the night for the Holy Cross native. The 2-2 pitch, a curveball, it gets lifted, left up in the zone, and the second solo shot of the night for the Westside Woolly Mammoths, but that is Jalen Lawson's first of the year. He gives the Mammoths a 2-0 lead here in the top of the fifth. So Lawson leaves the yard for the first time all season long, gives the Mammoths an insurance run here in the inning. Donnie Murray obviously wishing he could get that one back as that ball was left up a little bit in the zone. Lawson using every bit of that mistake to his advantage. So a couple of solo shots for the Westside Woolly Mammoths. The man who had the first one was Kent Blackstone. He stands back into the batter's box for the first time since leaving the baseball field. Looks at ball one, low and inside to start off this at-bat. On that home run back in the third, the count was 2-0. And he has worked the same count here. Missing low and inside once again is Murray. So we'll see if any action starts to stir in that Unicorn stable down there in left field. No action just yet. The count 2-0 on the batter Blackstone. He fouls off a pitch to bring the count to 2-1. 81 pitches thus far for Donnie Murray. Pitch number 82 swung on and missed, evens the count up at 2-2. Blackstone perfect on the night, 1 for 1, but has reached base safely twice as he had that 10-pitch walk back in the first. He has been the toughest opponent for Donnie Murray thus far in this one. We'll see if Murray can retire him for the first time. And in fact, he will. A high and inside fastball. Donnie Murray strikes out the side in the fifth. Outside of that home run from Julian Lawson. That one gives the Mammoths the 2-0 lead as we head to the home half of the fifth inning. Mammoths lead it 2-0. You're listening to the USPBL YouTube channel. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Game 64 here between the Westside Woolly Mammoths and the Utica Unicorns. Mammoths took the 1-0 lead into this fifth inning, but a solo shot off the bat of Jalen Lawson has widened the Woolly Mammoth margin to 2 as Travis McQueen heads back out for his fifth inning of work. He starts off Bobby Webb with a foul ball and then misses the zone. That evens the count up at 1-1. Webb on the night 0 for 1 with a fly out to center field. He lines one towards the right side. That one just going over the protective netting into that picnic area. Strike number 2 in the at-bat for Bobby Webb. Keeping an eye on the progress of Mr. McQueen on the season. His longest outing, 7 innings. And he's got just 50 pitches through 4 as he misses with ball 2 in the at-bat here to Bobby Webb. We'll see if he can either match his best start of the year. He actually had gotten the loss in that game back on August 19th, just a little while ago. This 2-2 offer hit softly over to the right side where the second baseman, Jalen Lawson, had initially bobbled that ball, picked it up on the run, threw it over to first base. It was a little bit wide of the range from the first baseman. That was Riley Palmer. And we'll see what they mark this one as. Have not put it down on the board just yet. I'll let you know. And in fact, they do give it a single to Bobby Webb. That was a tough play there for Jalen Lawson. Could have went either way statistically. But either way, one man on the base pass here with nobody out, and Justin Erlinson stands in. Erlinson looking at ball one on that inside corner. Erlinson had graduated from Utah Valley University before coming to play with the Utica Unicorns. Also played at Scottsdale before that. Was actually a teammate with a player on the team that I worked for this summer down in North Carolina for the High Point Thomasville High Toms in the Coastal Plain League. So teammates from all over the world in this great country of the US of A, ranging from east to west coast and even out of the country. A couple of guys that have come into the United States to play this great game of baseball. Ricky Castro, one to be named on the Eastside Diamond Hoppers. He comes out of the Dominican Republic. Erlinson, has worked the count 2-1. And on this 2-1 pitch, Erlinson fouling off one into the protective netting behind home plate here, and the count has worked to 2-2. Runner on first base over there is Bobby Webb. Webb on the season, nothing doing on the base pass just yet. The 2-2 pitch to Erlinson, missing low and away, out of the zone. He doesn't chase after it, and he has now worked the count full. Grounded out over to the shortstop, Jeff Smith, back in the second inning. But trying to get on base here with no outs as the Unicorns trail it 2-0, trying to get themselves on the board here in this home half of the fifth. A good lead from the man on first base, Bobby Webb. He didn't go anywhere, though. And Erlinson, on that payoff pitch, looks at a close one in there, but getting called ball four from home plate umpire. Erlinson gets to first base on the free pass. Brings runners to first and second. A tough spot here for the starter, Travis McQueen, who has cruised throughout this one. He had two base runners on back in the first inning after an error and a double, but he had retired Willie Martin and Tony Rosselli on a couple of fly balls to get out of that threat. First two base runners in this fifth inning have got on for the Unicorns. And what would be winning run at the plate. Back to the top of the order we go for Utica as Brett Balkin stands in for the third time here tonight. 0-for-2 coming into this at-bat. He had reached on that leadoff error back in the first, flew out to right to start off the third. But for the first time all night, an opportunity with runners on the bases for the Cal State Northridge alum. Down the count, he is 0-1 with the foul ball. Takes a big cut at the second pitch of the at-bat. Initially, the center fielder, that's Thomas Fielsel, had misread that play, and because of it, the shortstop, that's Jeff Smith, goes all the way out into shallow center field to make the catch. He saves his teammate right there with that catch for out number one. Runners stay at first and second. Brings up Chris Cruz. Cruz on the night. A night to forget so far. A couple of strikeouts, one via the look, one via the swing. So only able to go up from here is Cruz. I'll never forget one of my favorite moments for him, that is, at least last season. Cruz did not have a lot of home runs last year, but hit a grand slam at one point for the Utica team. As I say that, starting pitcher Travis McQueen keeping an eye on the runner at second base. Bobby Webb lifting that front leg up and falling towards second base. Didn't throw the baseball, but I'll tell you what, Bobby Webb was definitely caught off guard. As I say that, Chris Cruz hitting a hard ground ball over to first base, and will we get it? Yes, we will! An incredible defensive play there from Riley Palmer. He fields the ground ball, throws it to second to retire Erlinson, and then the shortstop, Jeff Smith, fires it right back to him as he covers first base for the third and final out for the double play. Mammoths escape the jam in the home half of the fifth. We head to the sixth. They lead it 2-0. You're listening to the USPBL YouTube channel. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Game 64 of 71 here in this 2017 USPBL season. Got a good one here thus far through 5 frames. Donnie Murray and Travis McQueen both doing a great job on the mound. Through 5 innings, Donnie Murray, 81 pitches, 6 Ks, 1 walk on the night, but a couple of solo shots from Kent Blackstone and Jalen Lawson have given the Mammoths a 2-0 lead. The solo shot from Blackstone in the 3rd, and then from Lawson just back in this previous 5th inning. Thomas Fielsel stands in, looks at called strike 1, and then fouls off strike 2. Quickly down in the count he goes. Fielsel on the season coming into play tonight, batting .271. He is 16 of 59. He's got 11 runs scored through 16 games. 2 RBIs, 8 walks, 11 Ks, 3 of 3 on the base pass. So if Fielsel can get on to lead off this 6th inning, that would be huge for the Westside Woolly Mammoths. Instead, on the 0-2, he fouls off a pitch to stay alive in the count. Murray probably throwing that pitch a little too close to the strike zone, more than he would have liked. And he's going back to work here, still way ahead in the count. The changeup at 77 miles an hour cannot get Fielsel to chase after it. On the 1-2 offer, a soft ground ball over to the right side for Dylan Sprague. Sprague retires Fielsel for the first out in this 6th inning. And you wonder how far Donnie Murray will be able to go here tonight. Starting to see some action down in the bullpen. And as I say that, excuse me, no action just yet, no throwing, but some armband stretching I see for one unicorn. And then down in the right field bullpen, nothing going. So McQueen will continue his night for as long as he can go. McQueen on the night, just 64 pitches, 2 walks and 4 Ks through 5. But Alex Abbott looking at called strike 1 to start off his 3rd at-bat of the night. 0 for 2 on the night. Pop out to first and a fly out to center. So he has kept the ball in the air but hasn't gotten anything out of it just yet. Looks at ball 1, evens the count up at 1s. 1 out here in this top of the 6th inning, a 2-0 lead for the Woolly Mammoths. A 1-1 pitch misses low and inside in the dirt, and a good eye right there from the designated hitter, Alex Abbott. Abbott out of Tifton, Georgia. Long way away from home he is here in this great state of Michigan. Looks at ball 3, low and inside again. One thing I've noticed so far from Donnie Murray through the first 5 frames and on, against left-handed pitching, he loves to go inside and low, forcing some ground balls and weak pop-ups throughout the game here tonight. The 3-1 pitch, a fastball low, not that inside on this one. Fouling it off was Abbott. The count now full on the left-handed batter. Abbott batting .275 coming into play tonight. 39 hits and 142 at-bats, but like I mentioned, looking for hit number 1 on the night so far. He puts good contact on this one, but too early he was. A line drive goes unnoticed. Just another foul ball as it lines out towards that right field corner near the Westside bullpen. Payoff pitch about to ensue for Donnie Murray. The fastball gets lifted high, shallow. In fact, it might, get out of play. And it looks like it will. Into the grandstands, it will go. And in fact, it actually hits the roof, it looks like, as a couple of fans are eagerly sitting, or standing, I should say, waiting for that baseball to fall. But it looks like it'll go behind us and out onto the concourse. The 7th pitch of the at-bat fouled off again, right near the first base coach of the Woolly Mammoths. But that ball hit fairly too hard for his likings. No glove out there, so he's going to let that one go right past. But a good at-bat here thus far for Alex Abbott against Donnie Murray, who coming into this 6th inning had 81 pitches. But already sitting at 93. Pitch number 94, going to be a big one for Donnie Murray. And it looks like pitch number 95 will as well. Alex Abbott giving a hard time here to Donnie Murray. He fouls off another one. 2 10-pitch at-bats coming into this one. And pitch number 9 about to be thrown to Alex Abbott. So if he can follow off another one, that'll be the 3rd 10-pitch at-bat for the Woolly Mammoths. And, in fact, he will do just that. He fouls off another one. So, officially, that is the 3rd batter in this Westside order that has forced Donnie Murray to throw 10 pitches in the at-bat. And if I'm Donnie Murray, I'm trying my best right here to beat Abbott myself. Last thing I want is another foul ball here. If anything, put it in play and let the guys make a play behind you. Instead, ball 4 just missing. Donnie Murray furious over there on the mound. That pitch just missed the zone. And obviously with the circumstances of how long that at-bat was, Murray wanting it that much more. But instead, with 1 out, a walk, gives the Westside Woolly Mammoths their first base runner here in this top of the 6th. Just crossing the 8:30 mark on your clocks. We're in this top of the 6th inning. Woolly Mammoths leading us Utica Unicorns by a score of 2-0. Ethan Whisker now standing in. He, just like Alex Abbott, fouling off a pitch right there. Whisker on the night 0 for 2, struck out swinging in the 1st and led off the 4th inning with a ground out to Bobby Webb. Infield, outfield at normal depth against Whisker. Whisker again fouling off another one. And thankfully we have an unlimited amount of baseballs here at the USPBL because there have been quite a few that have been lost here tonight. Whisker down in the count, will have to protect here 0-2, but instead chases after one high and out of the zone. The 2nd out of the inning goes down via the strikeout for the Mammoths. That is strikeout number 7 on the night for Donnie Murray. He is, let's double check this, as Sean Wood, the man who had robbed Dylan Sprague of a home run in the 4th inning to end it, leaping up and catching the ball over the wall. That has been the play of the game so far outside of the 2 solo shots for the Westside Woolly Mammoths. Wood trying to get his first hit of the night, though. Looks at called strike 1 to start off this at-bat on the outside corner. Wood on the season batting just .122, mainly known more for that glove, clearly with what he had done in that 4th inning, keeping the Unicorns scoreless in this one. Abbott on the season over there at first base. He's 4 of 5 on stolen bases. The count 0-2 here against Sean Wood as he chases after one way too early. He has quickly worked himself down in the count 0-2. We'll see if Abbott tries to get his 5th stolen base of the season. A good time to run here maybe on an 0-2. Abbott not going anywhere. Wood not getting anything with that swing. The 2nd strikeout of the inning and the 8th strikeout of the night for Donnie Murray ends the 6th. We head to the home half as the Unicorns trail it 2-0. They'll try and scathe themselves back into this one as the Mammoths have the lead. You're listening to the USPBL YouTube channel. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Rich Borland on the call here for Game 64 between the Westside Woolly Mammoths and Utica Unicorns. Mammoths with the only runs on the board so far in this one. Couple of solo shots, one in the third, one in the fifth. And outside of that, a home run robbery from Sean Wood back in the fourth inning has kept the Unicorns off the board. Tanner Levine stands in to lead off this home half of the sixth for Utica. The first baseman looks at called strike one to start off this at-bat. Things starting to chill down here as the sun has officially set. Lights all on here across the diamond. Second pitch of the at-bat, ball that misses low. The next pitch, though, Levine fouling it off, and thanks to that protective netting, I didn't have to reach out of the box to try and protect the equipment sitting in front of me, because that one looked like it was headed right for me here in the box. The 1-2 pitch from Travis McQueen swung on and missed. Levine goes down. That is the fifth strikeout of the night for the right-hander out of Radford University. He continues to cruise. Here is we're just one out in this bottom of the sixth inning, excuse me. Mammoths leading it 2-0 over the Utica Unicorns. Willie Martin standing in for the third time here tonight. He lines one into right field. That one slices down for a base hit on the night. That is the Utica Unicorns' fourth hit of the evening. Second of the night for Willie Martin. He had singled back in the fourth, but could not get past first base as Tony Rosselli, the man who stands in now, Greg Jones, the man on deck, and Dylan Sprague, the man in the hole, all went down in that fourth inning. So we'll see if Martin's single can lead to something productive here for the Unicorns, as they're still looking for their first run of the game here against Travis McQueen. Tony Rosselli on the night, 0 for 2 with a fly out to center and a strikeout swinging. He swings right through that first pitch at 78 miles an hour out of the hand of McQueen. Mentioned McQueen on the season against the Unicorns, a 1-0 record, 10.2 innings pitched coming into tonight, and just one earned run. He seems to have the Utica's number, but right on cue, a line drive down the left field line for Tony Rosselli. It looks like Willie Martin, who thought about coming in to score from first, gets held up at the last second by Jim Essien, the manager of this Utica team. He stands at the third base coach's box, excuse me. But Tony Rosselli with that one-out double puts runners on second and third here. The Unicorns with their first biggest threat of the night, with runners on second and third and just one out on the board. Greg Jones now standing in for the Unicorns. He, just like Rosselli, coming into this inning 0 for 2. Rosselli with that huge double leading to this right here. Greg Jones looking like he might go 0 for 3 on the night. A high fly ball in foul territory. The third baseman, Kent Blackstone, catching that one. So a big exhale from not just the Mammoths, but mainly Travis McQueen right there. After giving up a huge one-out double, brings runners to second and third. On the first pitch of the at-bat, Greg Jones retires himself via that pop-out. So with runners on second and third, a big out number 2, and Dylan Sprague in a huge at-bat, 0 for 1 on the night, reached on a walk back in the second inning, but was that close from putting the Unicorns on the board in the fourth before Sean Wood, the right fielder out of Old Dominion, had reached over that right field wall about 320 some odd feet away from home plate and brought the baseball back into the ballpark to retire Dylan Sprague. Sprague on the season does have 2 home runs, but was robbed mightily of home run number 3. He looks at ball 2 here in this count. He has only seen 2 strikes here so far tonight. On that walk back in the second, he had a 3-1 count. And then on that fly out that was robbed, he had a 2-0 count on him. And the next pitch missing as well. He has worked the count 3-0. And we'll see if the Unicorns want to try and put something on here. The base over at first is open, but Bobby Webb, not the greatest of numbers on the on-deck circle. The 3-0 pitch, a fastball, getting called a strike by the home plate umpire. Just enough to help out Travis McQueen right there. The batter, Sprague, just getting that word of confirmation from the home plate umpire after the fact. This pitch, looking just about the same as where the last one had landed, ends up getting called ball 4. So for the second time tonight, Dylan Sprague works the walk, the 3-1 walk, that is. And now Bobby Webb stands in for the third time tonight. He is 1 for 2 with a fly out to center and a single. He did reach third back in the 5th inning, but did not come in to score as the Westside Woolly Mammoths pulled off a double play. And as I say that, bases loaded, 2 outs on the board. A big spot here, obviously, for the Woolly Mammoths. And out to talk with his pitcher, that looks to be Shane McCaddy, the manager of this Westside team. Words of encouragement for his starting pitcher and infielders. Obviously a big spot here. They just need 1 out to keep the Unicorns off the board. They'll have a force at any base. And this is what you play the game for. Down 2-0, about 2/3 of the way through the game. Bobby Webb, like I mentioned, 1 for 2 on the night, but could come up clutch here for his team, especially with him batting 111 coming into play tonight. First pitch he sees, a fastball on the outside corner, gets fouled off and goes out of play as you hear the fans bring up the electricity in the ballpark. The 0-1 offer missing outside. Nick Kraus, the catcher, having to jump out of his seat to keep that one in front of him. Count evens up at 1-1. Justin Erlinson looming on deck in the 9 spot. He's over 1 on the night. Grounded out to shortstop to end the second and reached on a walk back in the 5th. The 1-1 pitch swung on and missed. Webb chased after that one. Looked to be a strike on the outside corner, though. Definitely close. Webb, though, not able to put the ball in play. He's now down in the count 1-2. Unicorns, after a 1-out strikeout, got a single and a double and a walk. But trying to get their first run of the game here. It seems as if it's just extra difficult here tonight for the Unicorns to put something across the board. Travis McQueen has done pretty well here tonight. Coming into this 6th inning, he had 64 pitches. And he's now at the 80 mark, 51 strikes out of 80 pitches, a really good ratio for the right-hander. This 1-2 pitch lifted high, and will it stay in play? In fact, will not. Just getting over that fence down the right field line, out of play. Bobby Webb stays alive in the count for at least one more pitch. A long at-bat for Bobby Webb. We'll see who comes out victorious in this one. Webb barely staying alive just by the strings right there. The 2-2 pitch just missing the zone on the inside half. Travis McQueen keeping his composure, though, on the mound. Nothing but getting back to the mound. No mad reaction. That makes the count full as he misses the zone. On that one, crowd starting to get on their feet here. A big one coming up, arguably the biggest pitch of the night for Travis McQueen right here. Full count, 2 outs, bases loaded. Bobby Webb looking for his first hit of the night, and up the middle it goes. Right past the second base. In coming to score is Willie Martin, Tony Rosselli as well. And just like that, a 2 RBI single for Bobby Webb has tied the ball game at 2. So Webb coming up clutch with that performance. The bases loaded, full count, 2 outs, everything you can imagine. And just like that, the Unicorns have tied this one up. Bobby Webb delivers to drive in Willie Martin and Tony Rosselli, who had each reached on base hits. That walk to Dylan Sprague coming back to haunt Travis McQueen, and just like that, goes from in line for the victory to no decision, and could even end up possibly getting the loss if the runner on third, Dylan Sprague, comes in to score. As I say that, a great catch was made in the stands by one of the fans. The first pitch that Justin Erlinson had seen, a fastball inside that he tried to fight off, but could only loft it right over that netting. Perfectly going into the grandstands for a fan to make a good catch. And he comes up with it, getting the great round of applause that he should. Not only a souvenir, but a top 10 play. As I say that, the 0-1 pitch from Erlanderson, he checks his swing, but the ball goes into the field of play, and coming up with that slow roller pickup was Jalen Lawson, for the third and final out. But just like that, Travis McQueen loses the victory here tonight. We'll see if the Mammoths can strike back as we head to the 7th inning. You're listening to the USPBL YouTube channel. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Game 64 of 71 of this 2017 USPBL regular season. Rich Borland here alongside you, providing the play-by-play call. Jeff Smith starting off this top of the 7th inning for the Westside Woolly Mammoths. If you're just joining us, the Mammoths had 2 solo shots, one in the 3rd, one in the 5th, that gave themselves the 2-0 lead as Smith looks at ball 1 high and outside. But the Unicorns, just in this previous 6th inning, after a after a strikeout that led off the home half of the 6th inning, a single, a double, a walk, and a 2 RBI single from Bobby Webb has tied this ball game up. Donnie Murray comes back out for his 7th inning of work, coming into the inning at 102 pitches. But he is back out there ready to go. Smith looks at called strike 1, so count evening at 1-1. On the 1-1 pitch, Smith trying to fight off a fastball inside on the hands, but can only lift it out of play. The count going to 1-2 on the right-hander out of Missouri Baptist. Donnie Murray, we know he can go the distance. Obviously had that no-hitter last season and strikes out Jeff Smith on that one via the backwards K. Donnie Murray had 8 strikeouts coming into this 7th inning and gets strikeout number 9 right there. We'll see if he can hit double digits on the K meter.
You would think his favorite animal would be a woolly mammoth, but not really. It's actually a lion.
Nick Krause now stands in. He was the 5th strikeout victim for Donnie Murray back in the 5th inning. He looks at called ball 1 here in this at-bat, but 0 for 2 on the night. Also grounded out to Brett Belkin back in the 2nd inning. Krause batting just 160 coming into this game here tonight. On the 1-0, Krause fouling off a pitch, it just hitting the top of the protective netting here in the grandstands. A couple of fans were excited to catch that one, but not enough on that one. Count goes to 1-1. Krause on the 1-1 pitch, trying to show bunt, as you notice that Bobby Webb, the third baseman for the Unicorns, playing fairly back in the field of play, right about 2 to 3 feet in front of that outfield grass where the infield dirt transitions into. Meanwhile, the 1-2 pitch swung on and missed. Krause chases one for the 2nd time tonight as he goes down for the 2nd strikeout of the inning and 4th consecutive strikeout for Donnie Murray. Officially 10 strikeouts on the night for Donnie Murray. As I look at his log over his entire career with the Unicorns, only his 3rd time getting double-digit strikeouts. He had 13 strikeouts in that no-hitter back against the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers, where the Unicorns had won that game 3-0 back on July 10th of last year. He had 13 Ks in that game, and then back on August 6th, my birthday, against the Eastside Diamond Hoppers, he had 10 strikeouts in the 5-0 shutout. He had thrown 8 innings in that game, but just the 3rd overall time he has hit double-digit Ks. Riley Palmer, meanwhile, already down in the count 0-2. Fouls off a pitch there, and Donnie Murray, even though he's already over the century mark of pitches, seems to be as hot as he's been all night long here in this 7th inning. Murray ahead 0-2. Let's see what he brings to Palmer. The ball hit high and over my head here in the press box. So Palmer will stay alive for at least one more pitch. But we are all evened up at 2 here between the Westside Woolly Mammoths and Utica Unicorns. Murray with the delivery, fouling it off again is Palmer. And let's catch you up on pitches here real quick. Pitch number 115 about to be thrown here by Donnie Murray. Most batters he had faced in a game was 31. That was on that no-hitter back on July 10th of 2016. And he's facing batter number 27 on the night here. The 1-2 pitch swung on, lifted high and shallow into right center field. Both Tony Rosselli and the second baseman Dylan Sprague having a conversation close to each other out there in the outfield. But rightly so, Rosselli calling off his infielder for the 3rd and final out. A couple of strikeouts in that 7th for Donnie Murray. He's got 10 on the night. We head to stretch time here at Jimmy John's Field. You're listening to the USPBL YouTube channel as we're all tied up between the Mammoths and Unicorns. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Rich Borland alongside you here as we head to the home half of the 7th inning. Hope you're all stretched out as the Unicorns head back to the plate. Travis McQueen, the starter for the Westside Woolly Mammoths. Night is over after 6 innings. He faced 27 batters through 86 pitches. He had given up 6 hits, 2 earned runs, both of them in that last 6th inning to tie the ball game up. He gave up 3 walks, had 5 strikeouts, and he gives way to Luke McCaddy, the 6'3", 200-pounder out of Oxford, Michigan, the hometown product. McCaddy on the season, a 1-0 record as he starts off Brett Balkin, the man in the leadoff spot for the Unicorns, not only in the lineup but in this inning. On the night, Balkin 0 for 3, reached on an error back in the first but could not come around to score. McCaddy on the 1-0, called strike down the heart of the plate. On the season, McCaddy 1-0 record, a 2.07 ERA through 10 relief appearances. In the 8.2 innings he's pitched, he's given up 2 walks and 7 hits, but has 6 strikeouts to his credit. The 1-1 offer out of the hand of McCaddy, missing the zone just inside, count going to 2-1. On that 2-1 pitch, that one misses low and away as well. And Luke McCaddy on the verge of throwing his 3rd walk of the season. Doesn't have a lot. Like I mentioned, just 2 walks through the first 8.2 innings of work in the 10 games he has pitched. But walk number 3 on the season for McCaddy, courtesy of Brett Balkin. The leadoff man of the inning for the Unicorns reaches base safely. So McCaddy with a base runner on and nobody out here to start off this home half of the 7th. He'll deal with Chris Cruz. Cruz, an absolutely awful night. What's worse than a 2-strikeout game? How about 2 strikeouts and a ground out into a double play? He had grounded out into the 3-6-3 putout back in the 5th inning. So Chris Cruz trying to turn his night around. Down in the count he is 0-1. Keeping an eye on Balkin is Luke McCaddy, and rightly so. Brett Balkin on the season, 11 of 12 on the base pass. McCaddy on the 0-1, missing just high and out of the zone, evens that count up at once. McCaddy, like I mentioned, that hometown product, he is actually so close to home. He goes to Oakland University, plays for the Oakland Grizzlies before he graduated from college. The 1-1 pitch, possible broken bat here as the ball is quietly hit to the second baseman. That is Jalen Lawson. Lawson initially looked like he was going to come in to make that catch, but let that ball fall on the ground and got the force out at second base. Balkin just a little bit faster than Chris Cruz on the base pass, so a smart decision there from Jalen Lawson to get the first out here in this 7th inning via that 4-6 putout at second base. So Chris Cruz reaches on the fielder's choice. He stands in now at first. Cruz on the season, 3 stolen bases. He has yet to have been caught. And now Shane McCaddy, not only the manager of this team, but the older brother of Luke, the pitcher, comes out to talk to his younger brother. Talk about quite the experience. Both of these men getting the opportunity to be a part of a professional organization in this USPBL. And after the leadoff walk and that soft ground ball to second base, older brother Shane has seen enough from Luke, and he will give way to a new arm. We'll take a quick break with 1 out, a runner on first, a tie ball game here in the bottom of the 7th. We'll be right back and let you know who's coming in to pitch for the Mammoths here on the USPBL YouTube channel. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry for the long wait here as a new arm is on the mound for the Westside Woolly Mammoths. A little bit of an issue on the mound as Joel Sharon came out to start his warm-ups out on the mound. He had landed weirdly in that landing spot on the mound. Grounds crew had to come out, fix that situation, so we are finally set and ready to go, resuming this bottom of the 7th inning. Joel Sharon taking over for Luke McCaddy, who had thrown just 8 pitches against 2 batters, a leadoff walk, and then a force out at second base as Chris Cruz on first reached on the fielder's choice. Luke McCaddy gives way to Joel Sharon. Sharon on the season, a 2-0 record, a 2.11 ERA through 19 relief appearances. Nick Krause catching that pitch and rifling the ball to second base. Chris Cruz, though, just enough speed, and when I say just enough, it was a bang-bang play over there at second base. Chris Cruz just sliding in past the tag from the shortstop, Jeff Smith. Nick Krause, the catcher behind home plate, really couldn't have done much more except maybe have that ball be a pinch lower. But outside of that, it was near perfect. Game of inches that this beautiful game of baseball is. And after that stolen base from Chris Cruz, mentioned you, Tanner Levine, the batter, swung through that pitch, so he's down in the count 0-1 with 1 out here. But what would be the game-winning run if Chris Cruz can score and nobody else can, standing out there at second base. The 0-1 pitch from Joel Sharon gets fouled off and into the netting behind home plate here. Tanner Levine on the night had a double back in the first inning on a blooper down the left field line. Grounded out to third base in the third, struck out to start off the 6th, and he's down in the count 0-2 here. Almost looking at called strike 3. Home plate umpire freezing his stance on that last one. The high and outside fastball looked just outside of that strike zone. Levine stays alive in the count. Sharon, the left-hander, coming set. Slider outside and low in the dirt. Even with the headset on, I could hear Chris Cruz take some of that off the skin. That one a good bruise. That'll show later, but Cruz, the tough guy he is, he's staying in there. Home plate umpire checking on him just to be sure. But everything all set behind home plate. Count even at 2-2. Chris Cruz waiting to be driven in here by Tanner Levine, who's 1 for 3 on the night. A line drive over to the right side of the infield. Playing a little bit into the outfield was Jalen Lawson, and he makes the catch on that liner for out number 2. Tough break right there for Tanner Levine, the first baseman out of Southern New Hampshire. Can't get a base hit right there. Nice defensive work from Jalen Lawson for out number 2. He gives way to Willie Martin. Martin, he's doing well as of late. Popped out to second base over to Lawson back in the first inning that ended it. But since then, a couple of singles, and he actually came in to score back in the 6th for the first run of the game when Bobby Webb hit that 2 RBI single to tie this one up. Willie Martin on the first pitch he sees, fouling off one into the netting to the right side of the grandstands. I know all of you are excited for the one tonight, as am I. Conor McGregor going at it with Floyd Mayweather, arguably the fight of the century. You definitely don't want to miss this one. Willie Martin on the backdoor curveball, looks at it for ball 1, evens the count up at 1-1, but Floyd money-making Mayweather still undefeated, looking for win number 49, as he is 48-0 in his career. But Conor McGregor, a bigger size and a bigger stature, brains versus brawn. Even though the man with all the boxing brains, that is Floyd Mayweather. Some of the quickest hands I've ever seen in my short 23 years. Willie Martin looking at the 1-2 offering, low in the dirt. Another nice job there defensively from Nick Krause. 2 outs on the board. The runner at second is Cruz. Willie Martin trying to stay alive here in this one. Coming into play tonight, batting .242 on the season. Sharon looking for his first strikeout of the inning. Won't get that, but a soft line drive to the shortstop, Jeff Smith, ends the 7th inning. Unicorns threaten but cannot put any runs on the board. We head to the 8th as we're all squared up at 2. You're listening to the USPBL YouTube channel. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Game 64 of 71 of this 2017 USPBL season. Donnie Murray, the starter for the Utica Unicorns tonight, officially done after 7 innings of work. Took him 116 pitches to face 27 batters. He had given up just 3 hits, a couple of home runs, and a single. 2 earned runs on those 2 solo shots, 2 walks to 10 strikeouts for Donnie Murray. 116 pitches on the night. He gives way to Andrew Potter. Potter on the season, a 1-0 record with a 5.19 ERA, making his 9th overall appearance in the pen for the Unicorns. He has pitched in 8.2 innings with 10 strikeouts, 5 walks, and 6 hits. He'll have to deal with one of the men who left the yard against Donnie Murray. That's Jalen Lawson. That was his first home run of the season. So Lawson having a good night, even though he's 1 for 3. A hard ground ball hit to the left side. Brett Balkin, with the routine play over to first, retires Jalen Lawson for out number 1. Now the other man who helped the Mammoths get on the board here tonight, Kent Blackstone, who had that solo shot back in the 3rd inning. Trying to break this one open. If he could hit another home run, that would give the Mammoths the 3-2 lead. Instead, a hard ground ball hit foul. Couple of hops down there into the right field corner. Fans that have enjoyed this ball game can stay after, and for just $50 you get food, dessert, a drink, as well as an opportunity to see the fight of the 21st century, at least thus far. Floyd Moneymaking Mayweather versus the Irishman Conor McGregor will get ready in just about 2 hours from now. And as exciting as this game has been, not sure if we'll be able to top the one tonight in the ring in Las Vegas. Ball thrown right there to Kent Blackstone, evens the count up at 1-1. But Andrew Potter on the season has just pitched once against these Woolly Mammoths. That was when they lost 3-5 on July 25th. He had 1 inning of work, gave up 3 earned runs on 3 hits, had 1 walk to the 7 batters he faced. So trying to do better than he had the previous outing against these Mammoths. Already with 1 out. He gets the fly ball out there into center field for out number 2. Coming underneath it to make the catch, Tony Rosselli for the 2nd out. Brings up Thomas Fielsel. So Fielsel, the ex-Northwestern Wildcat from the Big Ten, standing in, 1 for 3 on the night. Had the only hit for the Westside Woolly Mammoths tonight that hasn't left the ball yard. Looks at called ball 1 to start off this at-bat. But as things are going, it looks like the final of this one might be 3-2. Barring any crazy runs that either one of these teams could make. Quickly ahead in the count, 2-0 is Fielsel. Fielsel coming into tonight batting .271. He's 16 of 59 on the year. Only 2 RBIs, 8 walks, and 11 Ks. Trying to put the Mammoths on the base pass here in this top of the 8th inning. He looks at ball 3, high and inside here as he bends out of the way of that one. So a big spot here for Andrew Potter as he'll try and battle back in this at-bat between him and Fielsel, but a long ways to go as he's down 3-0. We'll see if Fiesel's going to be swinging on the 3-0 pitch. Is not, and in fact looks at called ball 4. Just missing the zone on the outside corner was Potter. So after 2 quick outs on the ground out to short, the fly out to center, Fielsel works the 2-out walk, and that brings up Alex Abbott, who is over 2 on the night, but reached on the walk back in the 6th inning. One of the 3 10-pitch at-bats that Donnie Murray had tonight. So Abbott still trying to get his first hit of the evening. Coming into play tonight, though, good for 2nd on the team when it comes to batting average. 39 of 142 on the season coming into play tonight. Runner on first is Fielsel. He's not going anywhere, but it looks like a base hit into right field. Abbott lofts one into the outfield where Chris Cruz picks it up. Fielsel can't go anywhere past second base as that ball made its way out to right in a hurry. So runners on first and second. We'll see if Ethan Whisker, who's over 3 on the night, can come up clutch here to drive in Fielsel and maybe Abbott as well. Little meeting at the mound between the pitcher, Andrew Potter, the second baseman, that is Dylan Sprague. Sprague having a little bit longer of a conversation than normal here with the pitcher, Andrew Potter. Home plate umpire actually having to go out there to break the 2 of them up. First baseman Tanner Levine over there as well, but he made his way back to first sooner than the meeting at the mound was broken up. Not sure what the conversation was, but Potter in a little bit of a jam here, but is just 1 out away from getting out of it. Instead, a ground ball hit off the end of the bat of Ethan Whisker. Started to spin down that line. Whisker, because of it, had to bolt down that first base line to see if it would end up falling back into fair territory. It did not, though. So the count dropping to 0-1 on Whisker, the Hillsdale College graduate. Crowd still in full effect here tonight. Not as loud as they were when they got here, but just about as full. No fireworks here tonight after the ball game, but what the showing they have seen so far. The 0-1 offer to Whisker. He fouls it off and out of play. On the gun right there. Andrew Potter touching 95. Not good enough for the record in the USPBL. But on the 0-2 offer, Ethan Whisker looks at called strike 3 for out number 3. A walk and a single, not enough for the Westside Woolly Mammoths in the top of the 8th inning. We head to the home half, still all tied at 2. Someone's going to have to pull out a victory here tonight. You're listening to the USPBL YouTube channel. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Things getting tight here towards the end of this ball game. It's all squared up at 2. Head to the home half of the 8th inning. 5, 6, 7 due up for the Utica Unicorns. Meanwhile, Joel Sharon, man who relieved Travis McQueen and Luke McCaddy, out for his 2nd inning of work. He has actually not gone longer than a full inning this entire season. He had 2 different outings where he thrown just 2/3 of the innings. That was on August 22nd and July 19th, as the 2-0 pitch to Tony Rosselli gets checked on but went around. Did Rosselli. He's ahead in the count 2-1, but every outing throughout the season for Joel Sharon has been only 1 inning of work. So the first time you're seeing him come out back from the dugout. And the 2-1 pitch misses high and outside. We'll see how long Sharon can go here. The 3-1 pitch missing the zone low and away. Sharon not happy with himself, shouting some sort of, I'm assuming, not radio-friendly expletive, but it's going to have to get through that leadoff walk to Tony Rosselli. Greg Jones coming up to the plate. He's 0-for-3 on the night. Definitely due is the left-hander out of Carson Newman University. Keeping an eye on Rosselli over there at first is Sharon. On the season, Tony Rosselli with 5 stolen bases in 6 attempts, so keep an eye out for that. First pitch that Greg Jones sees, he fouls off, out of play. Nobody out here. The runner on first is Rosselli. Unicorns trying to give themselves the lead and then a possible save situation if they can do so in the top of the 9th. The 0-1 offering, though, to Greg Jones down the heart of the plate. Not sure what he was looking at. He goes down 0-2 here in a tough hole. Over on first base You saw Tony Rosselli faking the attempt to go to second just as the pitcher, Joel Sharon, started to look away from him, but he was not going anywhere. The pitch missing low and away out of the zone. Count going to 1-2 on Jones. The 1-2 pitch hit down the right field line just past the diving Riley Palmer, but it stays just foul as well. The dirty of Palmer getting pretty dirty on that play, but just a second strike in the at-bat to Greg Jones here. He stays alive. But it looks like Jones had chipped off some of that bat in the process, and because of it, having to toss some pine tar on the new piece of lumber. And he'll try and do the job with a new piece of wood. He slowly walks back towards the batter's box. A little break in the action here. Just about an hour and 45 minutes, near 2 hours until the fight between Conor McGregor and Floyd Moneymaking Mayweather. So much anticipation for this fight brought up between the two. Conor McGregor's attitude and determination, obviously something to watch for, but Floyd Mayweather has been the king of boxing in recent memory. Arguably the greatest ever since Muhammad Ali. But Mayweather's got a chance to prove himself as the greatest of all time if he can get a victory tonight. I mean, you really can't beat undefeated. The 2-2 pitch, curveball that drops in the zone. Greg Jones looks at called strike 3. He strikes out looking for the second time tonight. The Unicorns, with 1 out and a runner on first, still trying to get the job done here. Dylan Sprague will be coming up to the plate. He has reached base safely twice, but 0 for 1 on the night with that fly out to right that Sean Wood had kept in the ballpark. Outside of that, Sprague has reached safely on a couple of different walks. Once in the second inning, once in the sixth. Looks at ball one that looked good from up here out of the hand of Joel Sharon, but Sprague ahead in the count 1-0. Infield, outfield at regular depth. Right fielder Sean Wood playing a little bit deeper than his counterparts out there in the outfield. Reasonably so. Clearly with that defensive web gem. If only we had a couple more cameras here at Jimmy John's Field, we would have been able to capture that one. Possibly get put on to the top 10 plays on the 1-0 offer. Sharon missing the zone here again. Quickly behind in the count, 2-0 to Sprague with 1 out here. The runner not going anywhere at first. The 2-1 pitch, or excuse me, the 2-0 pitch turning into 2-1. As Sprague looks at that fastball down Broadway. If you're the Mammoths, you'd love to see a ground ball here turn into 2. But the Unicorns looking for a base hit in the gap. It's going to be a high fly ball. Most likely going to get out of play here. Looking to go into the grandstands off of a hand of one of the fans. He won't come up with it. But somebody will pick up the loose baseball for a souvenir. One of the many you can get here at Jimmy John's Field. Plenty of merchandise to go around. Like I mentioned, we're in game 64 of 71, so just 7 regular season games left. If you haven't came out, you definitely should. One of the best baseball venues in all of the country when it comes to minor league baseball. Andy Appleby and company have done a tremendous job setting the footprint here in Utica, Michigan. That is Jimmy John's Field. And they are here to stay. The 2-2 pitch, slider on the outside corner, misses the zone. And now the payoff pitch will ensue for Joel Sharon. The payoff pitch hit into right field on the hit and run. Skirming around to third base is Tony Rosselli. And the hit and run working effectively here with 1 out. Base knock for Dylan Sprague puts runners on the corners with just 1 out here in the bottom of the 8th. So some action in the Utica bullpen. Looks to be number 12, Chris Dula. But still just one out here in this home half of the 8th inning. Joel Sharon in a world of trouble, but could still get out of it with a GIDP. Bobby Webb, the batter. He the reason that the Unicorns have made this a ball game. A 2 RBI single back in the 6th. Drove in Willie Martin and Tony Rosselli. Bobby Webb trying for the 2nd time tonight to drive in Rosselli. He's quickly ahead in the count, though, 2-0. Mentioned Chris Dula warming up in the bullpen for the Utica Unicorns. No saves on the season. He has just made 7 total appearances and has a 5.14 ERA. So the Unicorns do, in fact, take the lead here. We'll see if they stick with Potter or go to Dula. And look at that. A base hit falls through the 5-6 hole into left field. And coming in to score is Rosselli. The Utica Unicorns take the 3-2 lead. So still just one out here in this bottom of the 8th inning. Luke McCaddy coming out. He might be taking out Joel Sharon. Mentioned coming into this one, Sharon had not gone longer than an inning. And the first time he does that all season long, he ends up possibly getting put in the loss column if the Mammoths cannot come back in this one. And just like that, Sharon's night is done. He gets the baseball taken away from him. A new arm coming in to pitch for the Woolly Mammoths. We'll let you know who that is when we come back. You're listening to the USPBL YouTube channel. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to tonight's broadcast. Game 64 of 71 in the thick of things. We're in this bottom of the 8th inning. New batter in the batter's box, pinch hitting. That is Nico Lolio. Over on first base is Bobby Webb. A line drive back up the middle. The shortstop, that's Jeff Smith, able to keep the baseball in the field of play before it ran into the outfield. Not only does he keep the runner over there at third base, that's Dylan Sprague, who had that RBI single to drive in Rosselli, but getting taken out at second base via the force out on the 6-4 put out for out number 2. Nice job of athleticism there from Jeff Smith for the put out. And now back to the top of the order we go as Brett Belkin stands in. So a quick little meeting on the mound between the infielders and the coaching staff of the Westside Woolly Mammoths. Nobody getting loose in the bullpen, so this is Andrew Cohen's time. Meanwhile, I had to have mentioned that Cohen, the pitcher, in this one now for the Westside Woolly Mammoths. Back at the top of the order we are. Brett Belkin trying to give an insurance run here for the Unicorns. Runners on the corners with 2 outs here in this bottom of the 8th inning. Brett Belkin chasing after one to start this at-bat off. Ground ball softly hit over there to third base where Kent Blackstone is. He throws a ball that would have been too high, but the first baseman, Riley Palmer, not only comes up with a baseball, but lands on first in time to retire Brett Belkin. 5-3 put out keeps the Mammoths just behind 1 as we head into the 9th inning. Mammoths need a run to keep this one going. Head to the top of the 9th. You're listening to the USPBL YouTube channel. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Opportunity for the new arm on the mound for the Utica Unicorns. That's Chris Dula to get his first save of the season. He starts off against Sean Wood, who's over 3 on the night, a couple of strikeouts and a ground out to first. But he had brought back a home run hit ball off the bat of Dylan Sprague back in the 4th inning. That was one of the biggest highlights of the evening. Sean Wood, though, has worked the count 2-0 on the season. Chris Dula, as he throws the 3rd pitch of the at-bat, a fastball on the outside corner. For the Utica Unicorns in 2017 summer, he's got an 0-0 record in 7 total relief appearances. He's got a 5.14 ERA in 7 innings pitched. He's had 6 strikeouts while giving up 6 walks and 3 hits. This ball hit a mile high, but coming underneath it to make the catch, not with ease, is the second baseman. That's number 9, Dylan Sprague. So a little bit of revenge right there, getting Sean Wood out after Sprague had been robbed of that home run back in the 4th. But the Unicorns on top here, 3-2 with 1 out, just 2 outs away from completing this victory. Called strike 1 on the outside corner to the next batter. That's Jeff Smith. He's down in the count 0-1. Smith, just like Wood, 0 for 3 on the night. He's got 1 strikeout and a couple of lineouts to the middle infielders, Belkin and Sprague. This one on the 0-1 offer. He fouls off and it goes out of play. 96 on the gun for Chris Dula. He's ahead in the count, 0-2. Looking sharp here in his outing thus far. 0-2 pitch, looked like he chased after it. Home plate umpire doesn't need help from his partner. Jeff Smith went a little too far with that baseball bat, and he is down for out number 2. So the last man standing here for the Westside Woolly Mammoths, down to their final out, Nick Kraus stands in from the right side. He is 0 for 3 on the night with 2 strikeouts and a ground out to shortstop. But a miscue there from Chris Dula, 95 on the gun, straight to the left armpit area of Nick Kraus. He did the right thing and turned away from the direction of pitcher's mound, but still took a nasty one off the left side of his back there. He's taken a little bit extra time to head back to first base after he took a few steps into that outfield grass. He's back, set, ready to go. So Kraus gets put on base here. The what would be winning run now standing in the batter's box. So hold on to your hats just yet here, ladies and gentlemen. 2 outs. The runner on first is Kraus. He's got no stolen bases on the year. But Chris Dula, after retiring the first 2 batters, hits Kraus with the first pitch and starts off Riley Palmer with a ball outside. Palmer on the night, 0 for 3. None of the three bottom hitters for this Westside team have a hit here tonight. And an ugly swing right there from Palmer. He chases after one, low and away, evens the count up at 1-1. The 1-1 pitch, two-seamer that falls high and outside of the zone, brings the count to 2-1, 94 miles an hour out of the hand of Dula. But I was just notified, supposedly the stream for the fight has not been able to get figured out just yet as Palmer fouls one off into the netting. And talk about a letdown that would be. You got millions of people getting anticipated for the fight here tonight. what a crazy turn of events that would be if they can't get that to stream. What a tough decision that would be for Dana White and company at Vegas tonight. The 2-2 pitch, missing low and inside. Riley Palmer backing his rear end out of the way of that one. Trying to stay alive here. The count has rung full. Runner on first is Kraus. Palmer ready for the 3-2 delivery. He swings this ball high, hit in left field area. The shortstop, Brett Belkin, cannot come up with the baseball. The runner coming to the plate. A bang play, and in time the throw. The Utica Unicorns, with a kerfuffle at the end up victorious on the play at the plate. Trying to come in to score was Nick Kraus on that miscue from Balkin. There was a miscommunication between him and Bobby Webb at third base, but the bang play at the plate has ended this one in a theatrical series. The final here tonight, the Utica Unicorns, in explosive fashion, win this one by a score of 3-2 over the Westside Woolly Mammoths. We're hoping that the fight gets turned on eventually, but what a matchup we had here tonight. A really good baseball game, both started by Donnie Murray and Travis McQueen. McQueen went 6 innings strong, gave up 6 hits, 2 earned runs, 3 walks, and 5 strikeouts. Donnie Murray went 7 strong, gave up 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, and 10 strikeouts. If we are looking at this correctly, the pitcher in that 8th inning that ended up giving up the run was Sharon. So Sharon will end up getting the loss for the Westside Woolly Mammoths. And the victory will be going to Andrew Potter. Potter getting the victory tonight and the save, first of the year for Chris Dula. For Rich Borland, my dad, who's joined me up in the press box all night long, and all of us here at the USPBL, we say thank you for tuning in, and we will see you tomorrow. First pitch at 1:35. So after the fight tonight, try and get some rest if you can make your way out to the ballpark. But tomorrow afternoon, we will have the Westside Woolly Mammoths and the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers. So the Mammoths, who lose another one, they are now 1-9 in their last 10 games. And they'll try and turn it back on tomorrow, as they will be the away team facing off against the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers. But once again, thank you all for tuning in. It was a fun one, but get ready for that fight. Your final here tonight, the score, Utica 3, Westside 2. For Rich Borland, have a good night, everyone.